Yeah. Exactly.
Kick it. Cold opening. What?
What the hell? It starts with you sitting at that desk describing the events of the first one, though not in very much detail, and then you see Nicole kind of walking up on
shot
him.
of Nicole coming up,
like
and
if her
walking
getting
over
up on the
table.
desk.
Yeah.
No, how about that opening, man? That was like the best game opening I've had since like Mass Effect 2.
Yeah, that was really good, actually. Yeah, especially for you.
Like where the guy comes up and I was like, what? Why is what's wrong with his
I'll
face?
explain everything. We just gotta get you out.
Yeah, it was crazy because it's the first time you really ever see someone change into a necromorph.
I feel like that's like Dead Space 2's opening salvo that like we have dialed things up considerably because you never see anything that close.
Right, that's what I'm saying. When you see him rip apart, you're like, anything could be going on with that guy's body going nuts over there, but this is like 2 inches from your face.
It's just so fucking graphically impressive right off the bat.
And then after that, you don't have the ability to defend yourself because you're in a straitjacket.
Yeah. So how did you feel about that, being defenseless for like the first 10 minutes of Dead Space 2?
Well, it would have been okay if I didn't keep running the wrong way all the time.
Way to go, Matt.
See, I didn't have a problem with that.
It's like there's a necromorph here on the right in a dark hallway. Here's a really brightly lit hallway where I clearly should be going down. No, I'm going to run toward the necromorph.
See, the only problem with sometimes like this in games for me that kind of takes the tension away is I know that they've designed it so that I will be successful. So I know
you'll die.
I didn't
butcher you.
I didn't die once.
As you're making your way to this room, you actually encounter security guards.
Yes.
And you hear Tideman and you realize that not only is the shit hitting the fan with the necromorphs, but you're marked.
Yep.
Like that they mean to kill you, and they almost do, except those two guards get pulled up into the vents by a necromorph.
Yes.
Well, the marker,
Convenient.
the marker's built. They don't need you anymore.
You know, there's this great foreshadowing where there's a screen. There's one of the doctors is interviewing Strauss, who's one of the other 4 or 3 people that they're doing the experiments on to learn about the marker. And he says to Strauss, the doctor says, "So how's your eye?"
The eye's looking much better today, yes, don't you think?
And if you play later in the game, there's a reason that he's asking him about his eye, and it's this throwaway line that you wouldn't notice your first time through, but when you play it a second time, a third time, you can't help but pick out all those things and go, wow, they were really paying attention to all these little details.
And also, I mean, the first time you play through, you're a little too amped.
There are definitely points where they want you to get hit like at least once, so that like your rig goes down into the yellow or the red or whatever.
You have to get hit. There's a part
Yeah.
where there's a quick timer where a necromorph grabs you, and you have to jam X, and then it
With the door,
and then it closes the door.
Right, I mean,
and your rig has to be red because that guy
says
he says your rig is red.
Your rig is red.
It's
yeah.
red.
Your rig is red. It's red.
Yeah.
And he tells you to go pick up the health pack. So
Right.
you have to be red.
What I liked about that first time you meet someone, though, is that it's like the first time since, like, I mean, Dead Space, the first one has it a little bit where you see, like, the results of what it does to people, like the marker. It obviously sends out the signal that kind of makes people have dementia.
Yeah.
But you see it kind of driving people insane, and seeing someone who wasn't, like, fucked up, like, visibly. But, like, that first time when that guy cuts his throat and it's just so violent, I was like, man, this game means fucking.
Like slitting the neck is the way that the marker makes people kill themselves.
Man, it happens really graphically in this. Like, he slits his
That's what I'm saying.
balls, and then it, like, shoots all over the
And it's
window.
gurgling. I was just, like, when I saw Arthur do it the first time, I was like, man, this game is not fucking
And
around.
to think about it, the gameplay of it too. They just gave you the flashlight.
Yes.
So after that, you come into the room with the body suspended with kinesis.
Yes.
You get your kinesis launcher, and this is where the game establishes that kinesis is going to be your friend this time around.
Yes, kinesis is worthwhile.
So you find the kinesis module inside a machine, you rip it out, and then right away it throws necromorphs at you before you have a weapon. So that's a pretty great way of telling you, well, asshole, you better start using this thing.
Yeah, this game doesn't have a tutorial in the traditional sense at all,
No.
and I love it.
It throws you right into the shit right
It's
away.
gamey in the ways it needs to be gamey, like the way that the tip of every throwable spear like shines brightly white, just so it's easy
You
to
can
pick
find
out
it in
from
the
a distance.
environment.
Really? Because I mean, definitely later on, I was totally throwing things with spears that didn't shine. Like mops are a real motherfucker.
Well, yeah, mops are, but anytime there's a pole,
like spear, like
Okay.
this is us.
It always-
leaving a
it
spear,
twinkles.
and
There's a white dot on it.
Okay, because I definitely, man, I.
oh yeah, mops in the end. Mops in the end were my weapon of choice as well.
It's like
But
mop.
When you first walk into that room where the plasma cutter is, and the guy's all, "Oh God, why am I awake?"
Yeah, and just the fact that you didn't walk directly into the room with him.
No, you
Yeah.
walk by the lab that he's in, and
Exactly.
you see through the window. Then as you're turning the corner, you see someone strapped on a gurney
That's turned into a
transforming
necromorph.
necromorph.
Yeah. I love my favorite thing about that room is I know when you actually are pulling the plasma cutter, it's hard not to pay attention to the the necromorph coming into the room.
Oh,
He's
totally.
stabbing the guy on the table. But the next time you play it, on your second time, look at Isaac. Watch everything he does during that sequence. The animations are just great. Like he reaches behind the thing, looks over, he looks very scared. Takes the thing. You get to watch him fiddle with it and put it on his gun at just the right
He's like
moment.
hurrying as fast
Really
as he can.
good.
He really wants to save this guy's life, but he's like,
just too slow.
I have to make this gun happen, otherwise we are both dead.
I mean, it's very, very shortly after that you make your way into the triage room, which is where the stasis is hidden. It's like the last thing you must pick up. There's hallways that you go through where you walk through a room in the dark, and there's
And it's really
fire everywhere, and they do a thing where there'll be like a soldier that's dead on the ground, but he's got a video message coming out of his arm, and you get
It's
to,
just recurring, so you kind of get an idea of what's going on in the station.
There's all sorts of like cool story and environmental stuff, but I mean,
Yeah.
basically the next major sequence is getting this.
Well, and I love what they do with the stasis thing too, because it's like, oh, so here's the tech in use in the real world, like
Yeah.
quote unquote real world.
That people are in stasis.
Yeah, people are in stasis. They use it for hospital beds, and stuff like that. It's
I-
like, oh, okay.
The only thing I don't like about that sequence is if you miss the stasis when the guy's running at you,
It will
it's
kill you.
instant death.
Yes, it is. I
And
died.
really,
I died
really,
the first time.
Really don't like that.
Wow, that didn't happen to me.
I mean, the only thing I can
about
think
it.
of is that at that point you're still Isaac in a hospital gown,
Yeah.
and that is one of the more powerful necromorphs. It's a security necromorph,
Yeah.
and not just like
I think it's just
Random
there
douche.
because they want you to realize you better fucking use stasis.
right.
It does a good job of teaching you how to use the stasis after that part of it, with a door puzzle. It's really straightforward.
Did you?
It's very
blow out,
Half-Life-ish.
when you encountered the enemies in front of the window? Did you blow it out the first time that you did this?
Which
So you're walking down a hallway, and I think it's one of the.
you have to. That's a decompression gameplay tutorial.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, your character in all other I could be wrong because I didn't wait long enough, but in all the other decompressions, you shoot a window and
And then
your
you get
character
dragged
immediately
down.
starts getting dragged. In this one, he like grabs a countertop and he's like holding himself up, and I think that's to teach you this is this is going to keep going until you hit that button, you shoot that button.
So there's a couple more encounters, obviously, and then you get to reception, which is where you get the engineering suit. How triumphant did you feel when you finally got the engineering suit? Did you feel back to your badass self?
I felt like I would have thought that whole him putting on the suit was a lot more badass if I'd never seen Iron Man. But I felt like I was just like, oh, it's like Iron Man. That's immediately what I thought of, the way it snaps up over his face and stuff.
Right on.
So after this is the first brute battle.
Yes.
Oh,
The big three-legged boss.
The three-legged
Ross.
bra. So the brute is basically just an exercise in stasis, although it is cool to see it knocking down pillars.
yeah.
It's harder. I mean, I died more times. It took me longer to beat that guy than I care to admit.
The first time I fought him, it actually took me a while, because you're still getting used to the way that combat is a little different.
The main thing I think is that you have to lead with stasis. I missed his legs a lot. Like that guy moves a lot and he's fast, and my first time of playing him, I would shoot stasis right through his legs, and I'd be like,
Yes.
damn it.